here on the Cover 3 podcast. We'll have plenty of time to fill out expert brackets, but how about one just as we saw the bracket get announced? Let's see, Tom, I'll let you get first dibs here. Give Mikey a second to get it lined up. Is this Tom Fornelli? All right. Oh, you're just going to talk it out. All right, Tom, let's hear it.
Well, let me get my HQ voice on here if we're going to be playing out the bracket. I've got Alabama winning in the first round over Oklahoma. We've talked about it. I felt like Alabama was the better team in that game. Oklahoma just ended up winning because Alabama kept screwing up. So Tide move on. In the second game there, this was a tough call. Spent a lot of time thinking about it, praying on it. I'm going to have Oregon take down James Madison, shocking the world. Ole Miss going to shock the world and beat Tulane. And then I've got A&M using that home field advantage to take out the Hurricanes in the first round.
All right, so then give me the next round.
Okay, so now we are on to the quarterfinals here. There we go. I've got, as you can see there, I've got Indiana ending Alabama season, Oregon taking down Texas Tech, Georgia beating Ole Miss again, and Ohio State ending the season for Texas A&M. And now you've got 3 Big Ten teams in your Final Four and 1 SEC team. I think Indiana beats Oregon again. Ohio State gets Georgia. And as I said on the show last night, I don't think last night's Big Ten championship was the only time we are going to see Indiana and Ohio State play this year. I've got Ohio State in the rematch. Your national champion, Ohio State Buckeyes. Congratulations, guys.
Bud?
So I've got Bama beating Oklahoma. Again, I just think they have a better chance to get right than Oklahoma does. Oregon over JMU, Ole Miss over Tulane. I've got Miami winning in College Station. As I say that scares the hell out of me, but all right. I've got Alabama going down to Indiana. Indiana taking care of business there. I agree with Tom. Oregon over Texas Tech. I've got Georgia over Ole Miss, and I have Ohio State over Miami. Actually, I have full strength Oregon taking down Indiana to go to the national championship game. I have Ohio State beating Georgia, and then I have Ohio State over Oregon in an all Big Ten national title game.
Woo!
Wait, Bud, hold on. I was just saw in the chat that since I'm a Big Ten homer, I think that 3 of the 4 Final Four will be Big Ten, and that the game will be 2 Big Ten. Now, are you a Big Ten homer now too?
The top 3 teams in the power ratings for most of the year have been Big Ten teams.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think the SEC is a lot deeper. I just think the Big Ten is better at the top.
Wow. So I wasn't being a homer?
I mean, even FPI, which they tend to agree with you.
That's crazy. All right, here comes Chip. He's got Miami winning it all over James Madison in the final.
So... Yeah, Alabama, Oklahoma, I very much could see myself sway one way or the other. And guess what? Jam Miller, LT Overton. I don't know. We could take any number of the absences that led to Alabama's poor performance and go into, why that would or would not matter. For right now, I'm taking Alabama. Yes, Oregon over JMU. Didn't think too hard about that. Same with Ole Miss over Tulane. I am taking Miami to beat Texas A&M, Miami advancing to get against Ohio State. Miami and Ohio State in a high-stakes game. Have we ever seen that before? Yeah. So then it'll be Indiana against Alabama in the Rose Bowl. I think Indiana takes care of business. For Oregon, Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl, I don't know what that spread hypothetically could be, but that is very, very tricky for the Ducks to come from Eugene to South Florida on New Year's Eve, then wake up the next morning at noon, and Dan's going to have them locked in. They've got a good plan and everything, but I don't know. It's going to be the Focus Bowl for Oregon and Texas Tech there in Hard Rock Stadium early in the day. Ole Miss and Georgia, I'm not going to overthink that. We've seen that game once, and I do think that Georgia has gotten better since that game, especially on the defensive side of the ball, as Georgia has held every single opponent since November 1st to 21 points or less. And the only team that scored 21 was Mississippi State in a 41-21 blowout loss. So, yeah, Dogs defense showed out, but I think that's more what we've seen. I think they would have a good plan for Ole Miss. I've got the Dogs advancing. And here's where we're starting to get to the Ohio State of it all for me. I am going to buy Ryan Day's explanation. Not explanation. I'm going to buy what Ryan Day said about his team in the post-game press conference after the Big Ten championship game loss. Ryan Day said, I think walking off that field without a trophy is going to sit with this team. I think that there will be an impact on how this team approaches the college football playoff because of the way that game played out and the way that game ended. He did not want to, and I don't think he was trying to say that Ohio State lost focus or that they were cruising as they were the number one team in the country for the whole season. But man, he sure did indicate that that was a team that had not felt a lot of hurt, that was a team that had not experienced a lot of competitive pain, and that maybe that game would inspire a little bit more of an edge as they enter into the college football playoff. That's what has me thinking Ohio State is not in a position to get taken out there in the quarterfinal. It could be Miami. It could be Texas A&M. I'm picking Miami. I will tell you, I will take Ohio State to win its first quarterfinal game, its first playoff game of this season against whoever ends up getting there to the Cotton Bowl. Then Indiana and Oregon. This is a really interesting one because snap call, we're just writing it down. And do you know what was my tiebreaker? 2 coordinators that are going to be head coaches somewhere else in power conferences. If Oregon had no coaching changes and a healthy roster, I'm taking Oregon to win the rematch. But this thing is decided at the margins. And we're talking about a game in the semifinals that's going to be happening on January the 8th or January the 9th. It is impossible to think that Will Stein and Tosh Lupoy aren't also working on binders of what the winter workout plan is going to be. You know, it's a lot to be able to handle. And so at the margins, I do think Indiana gets a second win against the Ducks. Georgia and Ohio State, an absolute banger. I'm going Buckeyes, but you could talk me into Georgia winning that one as well. But then I will go with the Buckeyes. Then to be able to get revenge in a second meeting with Indiana, I've got Ohio State as my national champion.
You know how I know Indiana has arrived as a football powerhouse?
Why?
Filthy Animals in the chat. Despite the fact that 2 of the 3 of us have Indiana in the title game, and all 3 of us have Indiana beating freaking Alabama in a college football playoff game, wants to know why we still doubt Indiana. That's how you know they've arrived.
Absolutely.
You've only got us getting to the title game and taking out Alabama? You guys don't believe in us.
Would you have Notre Dame over Oklahoma or Miami or A&M? Or sorry, Notre Dame over Oklahoma or Notre Dame over A&M had they been in one of those 2 9 or 10 spots?
It's a great question. I would have taken Notre Dame over Oklahoma. If it was Texas A&M, I probably would take Notre Dame. Yeah.
I don't think I would take them in College Station. I think A&M would block them easily again.
Okay.
My power ratings would have them favored over Oklahoma in Oklahoma. It would be pretty clear. It'd be kind of a coin flip in College Station.
Yeah.